I see all these listings parting out this car, and this stuff is gone so quickly. So I was like, all right, I saw it. I'm like, you have it. It looks great. I got a little overzealous and I made a mistake. All right, guys, before we get to today's video, I have a trip coming up for adventure drives. We're going up to the Ice Hotel north of Montreal, just outside of Quebec City in Canada. And we're doing a giveaway like we usually do, 250 beanies with the Super Speeders logo. I don't have them yet. They're being made right now. I'll have them in a week. We'll get you the weekend trip and cover your flights to and from. We're going to be doing dog sledding. We're going to be having some drinks. We're going to be up in Montreal, and we're going to stay at the Ice Hotel, which is pretty awesome. So if you're interested, click the link in the description. First 250 people have a shot to come. And if not, you're not a loser. You're a guy with a beanie. All right, guys, Rob Ferretti here, and we're back focused on the Audi S5 behind me. And the first part of the process you saw, I was stripping down the car and putting together the parts list of stuff that I needed. Now, buying the used parts is going to save you a tremendous amount of money, which I'll show you, but it's also more complicated because not everybody's selling parts, especially on Facebook Marketplace, eBay Motors. They don't have them organized by part number. So you're sort of looking around with a part number and trying to find out if this thing fits your car or not. Because a lot of people are like, I have an Audi fender. Great. There's a trillion Audis out there, the A5, the A4, the A3, and you got to start figuring out which part fits your car and if it's the right model year. Because the Audi that I have here is a B8.5, which is a 2012 to 2017 model year. You have to get those parts that fit this car because they've got different headlights, different hoods, different everything on the previous generation or the half generation, which is the B8. And then after 2017, obviously different body style, and you're looking at different parts. So you can start shopping around, and if you start looking up the parts, you'll notice there's some overlap in some of the parts between the A series and the S series. But I've noticed that the parts move so quickly. I see all these listings parting out this car, and this stuff is gone so quickly. So I was like, all right, I saw it. I'm like, you have it. It looks great. I got a little overzealous and I made a mistake. And here is my mistake. So as we come over to the car, you'll notice I scooped up a hood. Right? Whoa, cool hood, Rob. Very cool. And it was blue. I got super excited. I'm like, there's a hood and a fender. The guy had both fenders. He had the left and right fender and the hood all in blue. I was like, sick. I'm going to save the money on painting it. Then we get them. I had the guy, he did an awesome job. I got him for $800 saved, a significant amount of money. And then it turns out that I acted too quickly and I got the A6 fender and hood. Now that didn't work out for me because the A6 fender and hood don't work. It's a different body style. So there I just wasted $800, and now I didn't waste $800 because I got the fender and the hood and the parts seemed to turn over pretty quickly. Now I'm sitting on a blue driver's side fender and a blue hood for an A6, which I'm now going to have to sell. And there, I looked, there was no part numbers in it. I saw the indent on the headlight and I'm like, this is going to work. I just got overzealous. I got super excited and I was like, sweet, these are going to work. But a 6 and a 5 aren't the same. So I flubbed that one. But what I didn't flub is some of this stuff. These are the other parts I've already sourced. So this is the hood and the fender from the old car, both garbage. I've got the grill, I've got the intercooler, which doesn't really have to be replaced, but I'm replacing it anyway. I've got the charge pipes. I got the mirror covers, which the guy threw in because he didn't need them. I got the bumper reinforcement, which the other one is sort of reusable, but that's fine. And then I've got the silver emblems all the way around. So another issue that I'm running into is this headlight, right? There's like 5 different types of headlights you can have for this car. I made the mistake of throwing away the other one because it was all smashed up. And I regret that because I wanted to get the actual part number off of it. And the 2 estimates that I have 2 different part numbers, right? So here I have, this is the part number on the car for the opposing headlight. So it's AT0941006E. and both the estimate from the appraiser and then the part number when I called the dealership to get the part number are both different than that. So that presents a minor issue for me because I'm trying to figure out and get the same headlight, because the headlights are not cheap. It's going to be $400 or so, and I want to make sure it's compatible to this one without having to switch both of them. Why Audi has 7 different types of headlights, I don't know, but that's my problem. I also got the most critical part. The cross member, you'll remember from the last one, goes across. It's a radiator support. That's already purchased, and I got that for $180. So let me drop you into my spreadsheet. Let me bring you over here, and I'll show you what I'm doing, how I'm saving money, and how it's looking so far, aside from this flub with the A6 parts, which, you know, that's on me. So the original estimate for parts was $16,000. First thing I did was trim that down with the actual parts that were required for the car. The original estimate, which is never really that accurate. They sort of spitball and they like look in with a flashlight and say it needs this, this, and this. We ended up getting the original estimate from $16,000 down to $11,000 and change. And we're looking at that list. We've got all the OEM part numbers at full retail, and then the game begins. So I put together this spreadsheet here with the Audi S5 part numbers, then the corresponding A5 part numbers that will overlap. And you could see there's some overlap there, and those are the ones that I can get either or. If it's S5 specific, I can't get an A5 part number, but it's something to be aware of. And then I added a column for A6 part numbers to just remind myself that the A6 is not the same as the A5. Just a reminder, if you're looking for an A6 hood and or fender, hit me up, shoot me a message. But I'm going to throw them up on Facebook Marketplace, turn those around. It's just a misappropriation of cash, right? I'm going to take cash, put it into that, and then I'm going to have to go through the effort of selling it and either losing a couple $100, making a couple $100. But it was, well, let's not talk about that. My mistakes are stuff to learn from. And then I made a column for aftermarket pricing, because aftermarket pricing, they make the aftermarket front bumper, they make it like the RS style front bumper. That's always an option, and that also saves a lot of money as well. I've got a column here for the actual purchase price and then the amount saved, because if I'm looking at $11,042 worth of parts that I'm trying to get for $2,000, I have to save $8,000, and it's good to keep that running tally as to where that money is being saved and what I may have to spend up on to get the parts that I need. So a lot of times when you buy parts, if you buy them together, it's great. I've looked at carparts.com, eBay Motors, and Facebook Marketplace. Those have been my 3 sort of check it out every day, set up an alert if anything pops up. Problem is, especially with Facebook Marketplace, it's very local and very localized. But localized saves me the shipping on a lot of the stuff, especially hood fenders. Unless I have a car that's wrecked in Utah or something like that, that gives me everything I need and I can put it on a pallet and ship it together, shipping can really impact the bottom line of this if I don't get everything locally. Obviously, locally, little time, little effort, I got to drive across a toll, stuff like that. That all gets factored in, but the amount of money being saved here, if I can get this stuff in blue, I can get this car done for less than $7,000, and that would be pretty impressive. To date, I've saved on the grill. The grill itself was $1,156. I got it for $80. Right there, savings of $1,076. So I'm already $1,000 ahead. The radiator support, $645 in savings. It's an $825 part. I got it for $180. That was a good one. I caught that while I was flying back from Atlanta. A guy in New Jersey right by Newark Airport said he had one, and they traditionally go for $300 used, but he was looking to move it. So I scored that one. The hood and the fender we're not going to talk about, but I did save theoretically on the hood and the fenders $1,365 and $650 from the factory. I paid $800 for both of them. So that would have been a solid like $1,300 savings. We're still looking. If you know of a blue S5, A5 hood and fender, you hit me up because I'm still looking for that stuff. And then I got some small little tiddly bits. It's not really worth going through the $20, $40 here that I saved. I got some extra stuff, the bumper support and everything. But we're about halfway there with the parts. I've got 21 parts that I'm looking for. But the main stuff are the headlight, is the one headlight, the bumper, the hood, the fender, and then the radiator is going to be easy, and everything else is small, like a bolt, an air duct, a mount bracket, a bracket, lower trim piece. Those are all very easy stuff. But even then, if I have to go scrap together $500 worth of miscellaneous like factory parts to get it done, I'll do it. So a little bit of a mistake on my end, but you can learn from me and join me in the process. If you have any of these parts, S5, A5, 2013 to 17, hood, driver's side fender, driver's side headlight, and front bumper, I could use your help. If nothing more, you've got a different Facebook marketplace than me. Let me know if the parts are there. And just you can send me a link on Facebook. You can DM me on Facebook. Send it to me on Instagram or email me, rob@superspeeders.com. I'm going to Daytona for the 24-hour race this coming weekend. Hopefully, I'll be able to get all these parts sourced and we can get this car together after I get back next week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.